Okay. This is the Lunenburg Water District meeting, Commissioners meeting, September 28th, 5 p.m. We're going to start off with Pledge of Allegiance.
Broken one.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we'll start off by reviewing and signing warrants. We pay tax.
What is that, mass
Just
tax?
for the
Federal
employees.
tax?
Employees tax?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you see anything you want to go through, we can always pull them out, go through them, so you guys can
Where do you see
see the
that?
bills.
Right there, we pay federal
Oh.
tax. I thought we were tax exempt.
It's the,
For the employee.
yeah.
We even pay mass tax. That's good. Gotta keep up the, gotta keep the Commonwealth in operation.
Yeah, it's not good when you live in New Hampshire and still pays mass tax.
All right.
That's a choice you make.
Right.
The free day.
There's only one of those, right?
Yeah, there's another one of them.
And we got one here.
I'll be back in Keating, some sand or something.
Hot top, repair a main break on electric cow at Easton. We get it still pretty cheap.
I thought the other day it was like, I paid like $78 the other day or something like that.
Yeah, we pay, it was 61, I think it was. It's pretty
I
cheap.
thought, yeah, I hadn't.
Thought you had it.
I haven't bought hot top in a while. I was like, wow, that was.
We're special.
Yeah.
Now I know who this I am next time.
Okay.
Sorry.
I also have the minutes for September 13th, where the meeting was held at the Selectmen's meeting. And we presented the article at the special meeting about the study for treatment of the Hickory Hills well, and that was well received, and they supported our efforts to proceed with that study. That's for the 13th.
I just happened to be looking at this. I just noticed on this, the total,
We're getting there, John. We'll get to that one.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
kinda shocked on that.
I know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you want to review the policies, John? We had them at our meeting and voted on them and approved them through, but if you wanted to take a look at them.
Yeah, I'll
You
take
weren't
it.
at that meeting, but I think we reviewed those things up and down.
Yeah, so the
We-
board reviewed it and just initialed it that they approved them as written.
Right.
Alright.
There was only one minor change to it from the last time I think you saw it. And that's, we can go over that. It's
Okay, that was,
some wording.
Oh, did I give you guys?
Wow.
Yeah.
I like how you put it in red. Just made it a little more fun, huh?
Well, a lot of them we didn't dissect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we just did like, let's
The big
shoot for a
stuff.
10% increase.
Yep.
Which I think 10% could be.
No.
Could be more.
I mean, you guys could say differently, but
I'd be looking for a motion to accept the minutes. Did you get that first set of minutes?
yes,
Sorry.
you signed.
Yes.
I got that one.
Motion to approve the minutes from September 13th, and I thought we had.
September
That was
14th.
just- That was
September
just
14th.
yourself and me were
Yeah.
present, so all those in favor? Aye. Are you in favor of those minutes?
Aye.
Okay. John, you don't get to vote, you want.
No, I'm outcast.
Yeah, Woody was trying to do two sets of meetings.
Sorry,
Is it two?
yeah.
13th and
Yes,
14th
14th.
there's
and the
another,
14th.
yes, the
Yes.
14th, John was just reviewing the policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what you gave us here for item 3, this is the
Yep.
the different studies. that-
Yep, the different options that they went over. I know you guys had talked about it.
Yeah, I
We
know.
reviewed it with
Right.
Board of Selectmen, but I didn't think you guys officially
No problem.
had stated anything,
I
so.
think we've been in favor of option 3, the majority this time.
That was the pilot study. Option includes conducting the biological filtration pilot study and long-term pilot scale testing for PFAS 6 removal utilizing different filter medias. For this option, the water district will need to continuously pump the well to waste or to its near current capacity. Didn't we change that?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I apologize.
Yes, so
This
yeah,
was-
they're gonna put it down, I think it was 200 gallons.
Yep, sorry, this must have been
And
an
they're
old
gonna
one.
change that for the article? Or for what, is this gonna be what we're gonna use
No.
for description?
No.
No,
But they're changing that, so we're not pumping it at capacity.
no.
Right, we're
This was
just,
just
we're
an
just
old one
voting
that I
on the
printed.
option 3 and for the process, but yeah, the gallons per minute will
The
not be
details
able to
aren't in the
pass.
article. That's more just allocating the money.
Okay, but we should get something with the right details. And
Oh, once
We do.
you approve, they're gonna give a full proposal with details of what they're gonna do.
of everything that we're doing. Okay. Pilot equipment will only require a supply flow of 10 to 20 gallons per minute. This option will provide the information needed to establish actual PFAS media breakthrough curves, which then can be used to determine actual media replacement frequency. This will provide more accurate data to estimate the long-term operation and maintenance costs for the future treatment facility. Duration of the pilot study is approximately 16 months. The total estimated budget is $360,000. Throughout this, so once we vote the article, they're gonna come to us and they're gonna talk about the hydrogeologist and all, in more detail, everything that we've already discussed at length.
Yeah, correct. So, yeah, once it's approved, say special meetings, everything's approved, then the proposal starts being, moving forward. So when they do that, they're gonna start nitpicking the process of how they're gonna do this study. And that's when we'll tie in with the hydrogeologist. And DEP will get in here, so everything needs to be approved through DEP, that we meet all the standards. And it gets way more intense once the funding's approved.
Once they start the pilot study, do they, are they reactive in it? In other words, if they see it trending one way, do they start tailoring it? Is this like a living organism type of thing? Like, do they, you know what I'm saying? If they start seeing trends going one way, do they start altering their testing to that, or is it just a flat rate across the board?
Yeah, I believe they alter it. I think they see the trends of where they see the PFAS is the
Right.
big one, where they see it in the media.
Okay.
So I think they start watching that, and then the big expense here is the sampling for the.
Right, I understand that. I probably should have asked them. So it's just something I thought of after the fact. Is that,
So, but I guess the sampling, if we back off the sampling, like I guess the initial stage, you don't really need to do much for sampling.
Right.
Let it go, do its thing. It's working.
Yeah.
And then you start watching it, and if you say, hey, we're doing really good with it, then you maybe push your sampling out a little further. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a work in progress, and hopefully we sample way less, and that doesn't come to the 360.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
So we did have a request from one of the residents if we could do off-site study for the pilot study. And I responded by email and said that's not possible. We don't have land area to put the thing and for us to do, we'd actually have to dig a water main and put it into there, because we'd have to keep it separate from the water system. So I pretty much left it as that's not a doable process.
I mean, I didn't think the equipment was that much. Isn't all this stuff gonna be pretty much inside?
It's in a trailer.
Oh, it's in a trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just back the trailer, we got power there, we're gonna run the water through it, and so it's,
Right.
you know,
Did you get much other feedback?
no.
Okay. I talked to John Fortune, who was here representing the lake, and he did mention to me that they met as a board, and their board was in favor of us moving forward.
Oh,
They voted positively for us to move forward with this study. So I'm sure that, you know, there's probably still other people that may not want to do it, but, and he did appreciate the openness of our meetings and the open discussion and keeping them in the loop, because it does truly affect the residents down there. If it was happening in my backyard, I'd want to know a little more about it. And I'd encourage people that don't know, to get educated on it. We sent out the October 1st.
they'll get their bills hopefully
With the
Saturday.
informational flyer, yep,
Yep, with the new flyer.
so, good.
So, yeah, so for the next meeting, was it the 12th?
The 12th.
We open it up to the residents, come in, they have questions, we'll go over whatever they wanna go at, so.
Every meeting is open for all meetings. I mean, come
Yeah,
on
so-
down.
Yeah, so if they
But we
wanna
could
come
put
in
it
and
on
answer
as,
questions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As a
and-
line item if you'd
By
like.
all the means, if you guys I'm sure after this, I'm sure next week you'll start getting some phone calls. I'm certainly hoping you do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that has, any questions, you can invite them to that October 12th meeting. Say, listen, we're all gonna be down here, your neighbors will be down here. We're looking forward to, we all can discuss this and put all questions, any questions you have, we can easily direct those, so.
Yep. Make it
Yes.
easier for the meeting on the 19th. if we
Absolutely, yeah,
can get-
sure. Anybody that's got a
Yep,
gee whiz question, come on down, we'll talk to you about it.
yep.
Great.
All right, so back to this, do we want to make a motion to,
I think we've kind of gone over this. We felt this is a longer term study is gonna give us the best information that we need to consider what we need moving forward, so I'm good with that. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, and then the funding for this is gonna come out of the cellular
System enhancement,
system.
which is connection fees.
Connection, okay. So this is nothing that we're gonna go to the residents to try to take more money for.
correct,
This is already something we have.
Saved up
a
for.
Funding
So we've
source
been
for.
saving, yep.
we've been saving for this.
Yep. All right.
I make a motion to approve option number 3 for our pilot study.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye. So we're gonna go with that, and hopefully everything does good moving forward. All right, what do we got? Number 4.
So this is just the article that needs to be posted for the special meeting to approve. I did have KP review it and that's their draft that came back.
Or such an amount, okay.
So the motions where you actually put in the specific exact number, so.
Right. Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah, so we did the article, we sent it to KP Law and they tweaked some words on it, so. And, okay.
They did, I know we had talked about it, I think, about the special meeting, if you wanted someone from KP there. And he said, it's completely up to you guys. He said they're more than welcome to have someone present there. He said it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of legal argument. He
correct.
said it's a pretty straightforward article.
It is a.
He understands the controversy
It's
because
a
Mark
very-
saw it.
It's a very straightforward article, but there has been legal that we've needed to,
So it's totally up to you.
Process.
I told him we had the meeting tonight and I said I would run it by you guys. He said one of them can be there if we requested it, but he said that's up to you guys.
I'm gonna be honest, like, this is not my forte. I would be like, we don't need them, but I'm not gonna say that. I
Well,
don't have the
I would
experience.
lean towards we don't need them, but because of the nature, but it seems fairly well received on the surface.
I feel like we've covered a lot of the legal entities of this very well, and it's been well documented with the letter from DEP and with the letter from KP Law, which has been put out to everybody.
Yep.
I feel if something else came up, that definitely would need to be addressed, but I this is kind of how I feel. We have a lot of legwork in this already. I don't really want to spend money on a lawyer there that we don't need, but then
It's
again.
kind of the impression that I got from him, but he also said, we are always more than happy. He says, we understand. You guys know the.
I'm sure they'd love to.
The procedure.
Right. Once again, I'm gonna kind of lean on you two. I haven't really sat through a bunch of these,
What do you think, John? I'm okay with it for right now. If something comes up, if somebody presents something else to us, it's a legal challenge in this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna need some legal questions from the audience for have one.
What kind of questions could they
I
ask?
think we answered most of the most of the legal we have, but if there's something that does come up, then we get close to it.
legally, I mean, we've covered the easement, the DEP. Like I said, those two letters. I think.
Yeah, those are done. So if any of those questions come up, those already
That's
been
what I'm saying.
Right,
We'd be
that's
like-
why I would be fine unless there was a new item.
You know what? I mean, can we touch base on this on the 12th meeting because it's still a week before
Sure.
that, and see if there's
Sure. If anything new has come up.
resurfaces.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That'd be a good idea.
I'll let him know that we have the next meeting on the 12th.
Right.
The next morning, I'll shoot him an email
Sure.
and let him know if
I
anything.
mean, if
new.
something shows up between now and then, like, absolutely. But
Okay. All right, so set date for special meeting to vote on allocating funds for the Hickory Hills. So I thought we already.
Well, we did
Oh, we did.
officially on the meeting as the 12th, but then we heard
Right.
that ZBA had a meeting. So I just, in order for us to get the word out, it is officially now the 19th at 6 p.m. So
Yep.
that's just why I added that on.
Okay.
Yep, I did. I went to the selectmen's
Yep.
meeting last week to let them know of the change, why we changed. Asked them if they had any more questions. They didn't have any more questions on the issue. And that was it.
That's on Wednesday?
Yes.
Wednesday, yeah. Item 5,
Do they have to vote
the
on
hot
that?
item of the night.
I didn't put that.
Discuss
Just
rate
sign it.
increases.
Just if they just sign it.
Just sign the bottom,
Yeah, so the-
approving the warrant, that's
Yeah.
all.
Do we need to
Okay.
vote to approve the article?
Well, actually, if you do a vote to approve the warrant
The warrant for the article,
for the
okay.
special meeting to be called on, and you can.
Tie it all
put it
together.
October 19th, yeah.
Okay, you're holding it.
Jeez, I make a motion to approve the warrant for the special meeting, and we're gonna have it on October 19th.
Right on
At 6 p.m.
19th. No, at 6 p.m. On the 19th day of October at 6 p.m.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Do we need to sign it now or not?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
wanna
if
just.
you guys don't all want to
Yep.
just sign at the bottom. And then we just stick that in the file and we post that exact same one without just.
Okay, discuss rate increases.
Alright, I gave you guys all the breakdowns. So basically, the first one, thank you. The first one just shows the major expenses that I, put on, the years,
One of
the
these?
past years. Looking at the projected year, so as you can see, the electric,
I'll make a copy.
20 to 21 was 130,000, 21 to 22 was 140. The way our costs are going roughly right now, we're looking at our electric to be around $240,000 this year. So we're looking at least $100,000 more than anticipated. The fuel, the guys have been really good about it, but again, we're anticipated for fuel to go up. Chemicals, that is guaranteed that we need another 30 because that was, we are part of a consortium.
Yep.
So this is our locked-in price for the year. And we did not know this locked-in price until after budgets are done, and we are anticipated to have a chemical budget of $65,000, which we had in 35 for it. The other ones, it's really hard to anticipate the main break supplies. Yeah, I understand the 2022 to date is tough because
Right.
technically we're only a couple months into it. But everything that we're looking at, I mean, all supplies, everything from pipe to fittings to copper, everything's expensive. Water testing was hard because, I didn't put in the SCADA maintenance. Water testing is tough because that's more DEP
Yeah.
dictated how much we do. But I'm seeing a rise in it because now that PFAS is being tested, those tests alone are $300.
I think 350.
$350 per test, and we've had to test multiple times now. Whereas that's, so call that an additional probably $1,000 to $2,000 a year just for the PFAS testing, not on top of whatever DEP had already dictated. And then the propane and oil, we really haven't used it quite yet as of July because we haven't needed to heat our buildings or anything.
Right.
So that's obviously that's a guess.
Do you guys lock into a rate for that at all? For like the upcoming year, or can you?
The propane, because we own all our tanks, so we usually call around. So when we see the prices go up, we'll call and get pricing. We buy bulk, so our pricing for the propane is
Sure,
pretty
yeah.
good. The
oil,
yeah,
I haven't really.
the fuel, all we have is the old garage, and so we don't.
Yeah, we don't go through a lot over
Right, I
there.
can't even, I mean, yeah.
But
It is, just as my speculation is that come after the election, the fuel prices are probably gonna start going up. And if we could somehow lock into something or
We can look
fill
into-
up before that, I mean,
we can look into that.
that's just my 2 cents is, from what I see and hear,
Okay.
it would be my,
So if you go to the next one with the maintenance and operating budget, I took some of the numbers from that and tried to kind of have an estimate of what this year actually is gonna look like. So if you go down, the outstanding debt is pretty much the same. I mean, I can get a few numbers, but that's pretty much the same. Same with the commissioners. So the administration numbers, all I did was really add about 10%. I don't know what those numbers are gonna change as far as health insurance or anything like that, so I just carried a 10% number. Same with the salaries, but you'll see the biggest maintenance has gone up. And because of, we were looking at 275, but just by looking at that other sheet that I just showed you guys, we're anticipating our electric to be $100,000 more because of the way rates have gone up. So, and our chemicals, $30,000 more. So if you take that bottom number, the $1 million number, plug everything up to this top, at the very top right corner, that's all those numbers below added. So we had a budget of around 1.5. I'm projecting 1.8.
okay.
So to that, it's about a $300,000 difference, which is roughly
That's
$80,000 per quarter that we need to pull in. So then that brings me to the third page of the rates that we talked about.
Yep.
So we know last time you guys talked that the $75 minimum was very important. So at the very bottom, if you guys look at the usage blocks, we figured out our blocks right now from 600 cubic feet and under, which is
Yeah.
our minimum, that 70, right now currently
Understood.
$69.
Yeah.
So if you look in October, just this quarter right now, you'll see,
400 people were in that category?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, and then in April, roughly 500 people.
Okay.
So then, obviously, the numbers from 600 to 3,000 are kind of pretty close. That's
Sure.
generally seems to be your typical family. But you'll see the really high usage numbers
Yep.
jump because of the summertime usage. So some of those are businesses, and those are already set into a tier
Yeah, I'm sure.
that's the low tier, but then you're gonna have those few high irrigation uses. So this gives you an idea when we start going to look at the tiers up top. So
Yeah.
we put in those two blue blocks.
Correct.
$75 minimum, and then that first tier from 600 to 3,000 cubic feet, which is where the majority of our families, where our bills are.
Sure.
So the first number would be at $6.80, which right now it's at $4.80. All the way to your left is what we current rate
Understood,
is,
yeah, I
yep.
see that.
So the first one suggests going that tier to $6.80, so that would bring in roughly $315,000 for the year.
For the year.
Your next tier, still all keeping these at $75 minimum, would jump to the $7.20 for your first tier, and that would bring in roughly $367,000. So it's
So all those numbers, what we did is we took the meter readings from previous quarters and ran the numbers. So that is true what the bill would be. So those are real numbers, but if it's based on the first block, because we can't really, it'd be tough to do the calculations to do the second block. So, but like she said, if you look at the April billing, because that's really no outside irrigation, 38 people were at over 5,000 cubic feet. So that shows you there's over 200 people that are, irrigation users that.
No,
Yeah, so I mean, the businesses, we don't do the block rate for the businesses. So the intent of the block rate is for conservation of water. If you want to water your grass, have the green grass, you're gonna pay for it. So that's the intent of it. Conservation and, the revenue side of us for to benefit the conservation of it, so. Yeah, so when we're looking at all those numbers, and tying it to the top, we used the April billing, because that didn't have all the excess irrigation, so that's the baseline billing. So when you take like the October billing, it would be more than that number. But we always use the low number as our budget number, so it should be higher than that. Not significantly higher, but, a percentage over that,
Right.
more available.
So,
Okay, what do you got?
well, I mean, it's a lot. Even if first off, good job.
Yeah.
You plugged all the right numbers into I'm like, oh yeah, this is perfect. I'm sure
Good.
it took you 4 minutes, but
no.
thanks. But we talked about this
Yep.
last time. This is
Yeah, you guys
exactly what I
wanted-
was looking for. Thank
Yep.
you. Even I like how you blew it off, because these are probably the two most reasonable options. But if you take the lower end of this, which gets us to the $315,000, which is about what we need, that's still over a 25% increase for your average user, which is a lot.
But you look at.
But look at what our electric
I'm
bill
not
went
just-
up
look at
100,
Look at the
yeah.
economy and how
Yes.
things are, everything
Yeah.
is
Sure,
going up like.
I understand.
That's the minimum
I mean,
stuff's
the
going up.
nice thing is looking at this, the minimum group, which we understand a lot of those are the seniors, it's only gonna be $6, it'll be $2 per month more for them. You're going from $69 to 75.
Copy.
So $6
Sure. Yes.
in 3 months.
Right.
$2 per month. So, I understand the typical family, that's gonna be the jump for them, jumping up to that tier, going to either the 680 or the 720 or whatever you guys decide. But didn't we figure, we were looking at some of
We
those
saw them,
numbers.
so if we took a
It's-
$100 bill.
Correct.
I think it was 101 we were looking at.
Yeah.
And we saw all the different rates, what that bill went to.
Yeah.
And I think it went to 121,
Yeah,
and then the higher ones was like 123. It was $2
So if you had
Still-
a $100 bill this quarter, let's just say.
Yeah.
And you applied these, let's say this minimal blue rate to it, you're
Yep.
saying it was about
about 120. So I mean, and I get that looks bigger, but keep in mind, we also do this quarterly.
Yeah, so that's over
So
3 months.
try to think 3 months.
So you're
Yes,
talking
we're going up $20 to $30,
$7.
but
I understand, I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's a,
Yeah, we agree with you.
yes.
We agree.
it's a,
And this is why I wanted to take the time to have a little bit of the breakdown so that we can get it across that, yes, we don't want to go to these big rates, but just look at what our electric bills are. I mean, you guys just signed just the Keatings one for $15,000.
I saw that, and I
That's
feel-
1 month. That's 1 month of usage.
So, yeah, look at our maintenance budget, last year, 275 we had in the budget. The electric bill alone's $240,000.
Yeah,
So, never mind all the other stuff that we do and pay to fix or whatever.
yep.
The electric bill
Is our budget.
Took our whole maintenance budget, pretty much.
Why did electric go up so much? That's difficult.
You want one
So
word?
we wanted to get all this across to you guys as well, but I think whatever you guys decide, this is the other part of it, whatever you decide when you get to this, I've been thinking about having another insert, another letter, because I want our residents to understand that this has nothing to do with the pilot study. This has nothing to do
Yeah.
with the Mass Ave project. This has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that everything has gone up. Our chemicals almost doubled, our electric has almost doubled. You know, just to buy copper or pipe or fittings, it's all doubled, you know? So
It's
I
at least
wanna
that.
make sure that that gets across to our residents and hopefully they understand that.
I think
This is,
you'd have to live in a really deep hole right now not to see
yeah,
To see
cost of
I know.
cost of everything
just
going up.
going crazy.
yeah.
I mean,
Especially,
it's
yeah.
every day.
But I agree with you,
The
this is
inflation.
huge, but,
I just.
and we don't wanna do it either.
No,
you know,
I mean,
but-
I'm trying to you know, like imagine, is there no way we can make money, but I mean, you know, like, it just,
My concern too is moving forward that I don't wanna come back.
Yeah,
And I saw and here you had that this should, that, you know, one of these should be enough to cover the budget hopefully for 2 years, which is great. And I'm looking at these increases that you're talking about, and we haven't even budgeted for those. So, you know, we need this rate increase today.
oh, I know. We
So-
needed this, yes.
So
This,
this is very important, and
yeah.
you know, I really think that, you know, we want to make sure that we can cover our expenses, because,
I think for now, but also the idea that we put those into the blocks, that yes, that 315, you know, is pretty close to my number that I had here, but like you said, what happens if we do this and in 6 months, all of a sudden we look back and go, wow, electric went up even more and our oil and our propane
well, like I say, come
doubled
February
more
now,
than we
you know,
anticipated.
oil is $6 right, no,
So I think this is, you know, nobody wants to do the rate increase, but also at the same time, we need to look at, not just right now, like you said, need to have the numbers going forward the next year or two.
yeah, as long as we have a little bit of a cushion, I don't
Yeah.
want to, I agree with Matt, I don't want to, you know, gouge people and take too much. We need to take what we need.
Yes.
But this could change. We could have to do this again. Nobody could foresee the rate of inflation that we are having right now. Everybody could say, yes, I could see it going up.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could see the rate in which it would go up. So, you know, I like where you put, you know, kind of put us right in the middle there. I would like to see more of a buffer on the heavy side just to make sure, because things are gonna continue to go up. I don't see, there's a constant need for what we provide. People are always going to use water. That's bottom line. So we need to be able to have the funds to provide that. So I don't know if we wanna sit on this, dwell on this. Act on
I
this.
need to sit on this.
You got time, so it's gonna take place for the next billing. So
We'd like
January
to do
billing,
this.
so you have,
3 months,
yeah,
basically.
you got a
Well,
couple months.
you gotta give us a little time to
I
actually
got you,
change
I
our
got
whole
you.
system,
I
so
got
maybe not the end of December.
One thing to consider though is the blocks, block 2 and block
Yep.
3.
Down the bottom.
I mean, typically, this current billing we're in, it was 60 cents increase for the second block. So we went from
480 to 560. 540.
540.
Yep.
You have any idea how many elderly people there are in town?
Well, that's what they kind of have pointed out here, so like we talked about this earlier in, just I came in one day. The 600 in cubic feet under London, your minimum, like user, I assume that to be, a empty nest type of home,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's the 400 number there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would assume, that's when we were talking about raising the rates, I was pretty adamant, I didn't want to raise the minimum to a high number, because a lot of 400 people
Yeah.
are probably in that elderly, like I don't really.
Budgeted.
I don't want to,
400
I don't want to grab the money from them.
Yeah.
you know,
400 out of 2,100.
2,400, almost
2,400.
2,500.
2,500, so,
So if any of you guys want more info, because you gotta sit on this, I have all 2,400, so we can look at each individual bill and see what they actually go to. And if you want to
I'd
know
like
now,
to-
I can go whip it up and.
I'd like to find out a little bit more about the elderly. I mean, they gotta be already suffering enough. I don't wanna hurt them hardly.
their rate would only go up basically
$2 per month, yeah,
$6.
$6.
$6, $2 per month. That's
Yep.
why I was adamant about, like, I don't want to, there was talk of raising the minimum to 90, and I didn't like that.
I'd like to see the selectmen in the town do something about the elderly's taxes.
Okay,
Instead
don't
of
they have
this.
a work-off program?
Yeah, but but they're retired because they don't wanna work. Why would an 80-year-old woman wanna go to work for the town who's already retired to lower her taxes a few
Folks
bucks?
want to retire.
I mean, stop wasting money and give the elderly people a break. Talk about lowering their taxes a little bit.
Can you, is there a way they don't do that now, there's no.
New Hampshire does it,
They do it? They do
Sure.
it by age?
yes, by age. Yeah, and Leominster does it, I believe. My ex-wife's girlfriend lives in Leominster, and she gets quite
So,
a.
I mean, you could do a discount, but then now you're raising the other ones.
Right, we still,
So what? I mean, take care of the elderly. I'll pay a few more dollars in taxes if.
But you are the elderly.
Right. So I'll pay myself. Huh, Dave? That's what we're talking about, right, Dave?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I definitely want to kind of, and I'm going to come in, off, and I do kind of just want to apply this to a couple of different scenarios of bills to see where it is. There's no, I'm not arguing with any of these numbers, absolutely, and I understand it.
I know
So
it's
it's just, so you can compare the numbers, I would say the average water bill on, say, pick one of these new rates is probably $50 a month.
Right.
So $150 a quarter.
Sure.
So $50 a month. You start comparing that to your other bills, cable,
Alright,
gas.
Electric.
so like, you can't do that though. I understand your thought process there, but like, we can't be like, oh, well, your cable, it's not apples for apples. I've compared a lot of our rates to other towns that I view are
All right.
similar to our Lunenburg size, and you know what I'm saying? And, I feel like we're in the middle. I mean, we're not high, we're not
Yeah.
low,
Okay.
and
But they're gonna be doing the exact same thing.
I'm not saying we don't need to do this. I just am freaking out about it. I don't really like it, but.
I'm with you.
I know, I just, you can't say like, oh, well, your cable bill's this, like, we
Yeah.
can't, it's not, I don't think it's an appropriate comparison. Yes, you need water, and it's our
See, now,
fiduciary responsibility.
I completely disagree with that, because you got a husband and a wife, and you got 4 kids, and they all got cell phones. They all got TVs in their rooms. They all got computers in their rooms. Now, would they rather have their 4 kids play video games on a computer, on the internet, or would they rather have drinking water?
John,
See,
that's all right. So I have.
Would you rather watch the internet, or would you
I
rather be able
have
to
2
take a
kids
shower?
at home, and I fall into this category, and they're old enough, but they don't have phones, and they don't have any of that stuff.
Well, you're
because-
an exception then.
Oh, right, yeah, well, I'm just saying, maybe there's more exceptions out there than you
Well,
think.
there ain't that many, believe me.
I
There's
do-
not that many.
I do have another way to kind of look at this, not that I'll probably be crucified as a business owner myself, but what does this do to a business for a business rate? Other than the minimum, it doesn't really change what they pay unless we're raising the,
Yeah, the usage is going up to 720 versus the 480. So they're gonna get a good hit too.
Okay,
So, but they don't tie into the blocks, that's all.
right.
Wait,
Okay,
say
so
say
their
that again,
minimum,
Frank?
what they pay for the 100 cubic feet is gonna go.
So a business, see, we did the blocks
Yeah, I
down below?
understand, yeah.
A business stays at the first block, they don't.
The 600 to 3,000.
Understood, they don't go into, they
Even if they used
I understand,
5,000 cubic
right, they-
feet,
they-
they're still only
but-
paying
but
that
they're
rate.
still, their rate will
Right.
increase
Yes.
also, but
Yes,
they just
they're going
don't,
up to 7.
they don't block up, and,
Right.
all right, no problem, I mean,
But
they're still,
their rate for what they use, it goes up.
sure.
Okay.
Right.
The more they use, the more they pay, like, you know, it's just,
No, but I mean, the base rate right now is 480 per 100, and what you have highlighted here is either 680 or 720.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they use 5,000 cubic feet, their bill will go up $100.
I don't wanna drag this out too long, I wanna get on with it. I mean, it's gonna eventually happen, but I mean, we're gonna do it at the next meeting.
What would
Right? Or we're
you,
gonna-
Is there more that you would
Whatever time you
like
guys need.
Well, so.
for me
what
to?
They're sending out the last quarter bills.
Okay, now they're gonna get that Saturday, you said.
October 1st,
Okay, our next meeting is not till the,
October 12th.
okay, the 12th, let's make a decision.
Okay, you don't have to rush it though, cause you
Yeah.
got
I'm
till
not rushing it. I
December.
know it's gotta
It would
be done.
it would be nice to have a decision, early November. So that we have time to transition
Yeah, I agree
our
with-
billing program
I
to
agree with that,
these.
but we all know what's gotta happen.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there's no,
gotta
I will put
It's
it on the
happening.
agenda for
I
next.
just-
we just gotta comfort Woody.
Yeah,
You're right, you do, sorry.
That's good
You
though,
know,
I mean, it's good.
just-
So you're
I
gonna
just
look-
wanna look at different scenarios and see
Okay,
what's out there.
so this is where it gets tough, cause the other towns are gonna be in the same boat. Where are they in this process? Have they already raised, or are they going to raise?
I
So I mean,
yeah,
so,
look at
but that's a tough
If you-
thing you gotta figure out.
The numbers that you pointed out are,
How
like,
old
I mean-
is the Templeton? That
that just went into effect July.
yeah.
July.
Their rates just
So
went up
do you
July
think they
1st.
already got the hits with the electric bills, or you think they're looking at another one?
I would have to ask. So that's what I was gonna say too, is in the meantime, before our 12th meeting, I can call around if you'd like for me
I would love to see.
to just call other towns. Like I know I live in Templeton, they
Right,
just
no,
sent out
I mean, if you
their
start-
letter,
right.
but I wanna say, I know that they also just hired a firm because they are doing big projects.
Sure.
So I'll be curious to see if this was due to the projects or if this was due to,
For my
to
own,
their
for my own mental, I will look into this
maintenance.
myself. I'm just
Sure.
kind of curious. Yeah, yes, it's inevitable. They have to go up, and I understand that.
Sure.
I just want to have a
Just
little.
curious what other-
I want a little more educated decision on my end before I just pick something. So
yeah.
that's my job here.
And everybody's rates, everybody that, other communities that set their rates.
Yeah.
They either have maybe a different number of users,
Look,
different number of usage.
I'm not saying.
Well, I
different number
can,
of
Right,
employees.
I'll just-
everybody's got their own, you know, I'm just saying that there are ways to just, you know, I'm kind of curious compared, but you're right, how old's their infrastructure on the ground? I mean, there's so many variables
Yeah,
to this.
there's tons.
Right.
There's tons, but, look, it's just,
Because when
you're
you
doing
look
the
at
right
chemicals
thing.
going up $30,000.
Right.
That's directly tied to how much we pump.
I understand. I brought PVC pipe the other day and I puked, like it's, you know, right, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I cringed because I knew I didn't buy a piece of ADS and I was like, make sure there's enough money in the account before you go. So, okay.
Late
All right,
at
I
night,
will-
There's a street corner in Pittsburgh, guys selling half-inch electrical conduit. It's steel.
Because it really is a steal.
Yeah.
It is a steal.
so are we good, like looking at numbers and stuff on my end, on like doing a little bit of this? Are we okay for this, for the next meeting, but maybe call around, get a little bit of,
If you could
get
come
a little
around
bit
a
of
little
stuff?
bit, I will probably
and
come
then
because
we'll-
I don't need to chew up meeting time with this, and I just
No,
want to see a
Get
couple.
a couple examples.
I just
Yeah.
want to get a couple
No,
examples.
that's
So
fine,
when
but
we
as
when we
far
call,
as,
we'll get their rates.
Yeah.
When was your last rate increase?
yep,
So
And how much?
that'll be important. to-
Like, I know that, like, just for example, Littleton, because I've looked at that one recently, their minimum is like $15 or something like that, but like, nobody meets the minimum. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's super, so it's an irrelevant number. I guess I'm looking at what's the average bill, what's the average water use, and I understand that it's not really comparable because of so many different factors, but I'm just curious if you took a community that was similar in size in, let's say, income of Lunenburg, you know, how we doing?
So if you did compare us to, say, Littleton with their low minimum charge, you'd say, okay, let's do 2,000 cubic feet.
Correct.
You know, because they don't get
It
any
all-
water
it
for that.
averages
So-
it. I
So then you start, then you figure it out at the 2,000, like, okay, their bill was
Right, but their rate,
110 and ours was 130.
I understand,
Okay,
like, so let's not say, if you took a you know, a 700 cubic foot user, what's really their bill? And I know that because their rate is, their minimum is 15, but their rate was like, I think, I wanna say it was almost $8 or something like that.
Okay, so it's 56, so if you got say 600 cubic
Right.
feet, 6 times 8, so it's 48 plus the 15, so it's $75. And that's, we're at 69.
Exactly,
so-
that's what I'm not.
I know.
I'm not picking on anybody here, I just.
No, no.
That's why I said, look at a number and then figure it out.
That's why I say
Yeah.
it's not,
Yeah,
I
it's
know
not.
it's not like you keep it like, the minimum, no one's meeting me.
Yeah.
It's not.
See, the thing of it is, that's fine, but we gotta raise our rates enough to pay our bills.
Absolutely.
Not
right.
another town's bills.
I couldn't agree with you.
No, but I don't mind doing some of this. If this is
Well,
what,
no, I
if what we're
understand.
curious for, we got a lot of
Then we
this,
know where we
so you
got.
guys know where we
It'll be
are.
good. If people call, we got all the information.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
it's not
I'm
like we
not saying
just
they,
jumped in.
they have to go up, but we have to pick a number, and I'm not
Yeah.
putting any of this on you, I just wanna look into it. I'll be ready for you in 2 weeks, ready to go.
You don't have to go on a guilt trip, Woody.
I'm
You
not
understand.
guilty.
I know what's happening.
I don't wanna pay it, to be honest with you, because I live here.
Are you on town water?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll follow up on the 12th.
All right.
Sounds good. Any more on the rates we wanna discuss? We good?
We're good.
Okay. On to item number 6, Commissioner Superintendent additions.
All right, so I was working on the new truck, whipping up the specs and stuff, the utility body. And so we could just go and buy it off the state bid. That's the easiest thing to do, but you pay for it. You don't get as cheap of a truck. When people compete, you get a cheaper price. So I wanna go to bid. And I don't care if it's a Dodge, Ford, I don't care what it is.
Whatever.
And whatever's cheapest. So I wanna do the bids, and I was thinking I put the bid opening as November, was it 12th? The first
The
meeting?
9th, I think. it is.
8th or 9th,
Yeah.
yep. The first meeting in November is the bid opening. So I'll have them submit the bids, we just open them up and go through the thing. So is that okay? First
Now, what are
meeting
you
in
gonna get? I mean, you're gonna get one with a plow, utility body?
I did the spec as a full plow setup with the exception of the plow. So we're gonna have the frame, all the controls.
Plow ready.
Yeah.
Plow ready,
Yeah.
yep, so we could just drive up to our existing plow, cause we don't use enough to beat up the plow, so. So that's what I did for the spec. I did, I know it was, you guys kinda tossed up the bed liner, spray on bed liner. I think it's a great idea, but, that's in the spec. If you guys wanna take it out, you can take it out.
Did we go with aluminum utility bed or steel?
It was steel. I
Okay.
mean, I could do, aluminums were
Huge money.
10 grand,
Yeah.
but it's gonna last you forever. I mean, we did have the aluminum body truck here. It was nice and light, and the truck didn't sag, so,
What about the doors, the hinges, all that stuff, the aluminum?
yeah,
The whole
it
thing's
held up.
aluminum.
The only thing that, the old truck, remember my little S10?
Yeah.
Yep, that was aluminum. The body was perfect. Paint
Well,
scratch
that's
very easy.
military
Yeah.
grade.
But, the only thing that rotted out was the little plugs that were in each compartment. With a little tab you can put, that was on there rotted out, so you
Yeah.
just replace the tab. So the aluminum is a very good, I mean, it's gonna last you the life of the truck, so
Can take it off, put it on another truck.
you probably could. So I mean, if you wanna do that, I can add it, bid alternate, aluminum body. I can add that.
I mean,
I'd love to see that. I know they're expensive, I just know that.
if you can get it to last the life of 2 pickups
Yeah.
instead of 3, or 3, that's even
So
better.
we'll see, let's say it's 7 grand more, then you guys decide, hey, let's go the
I'd
aluminum.
do that in a
you know,
heartbeat,
so-
but I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be more like 12, but I mean.
I think the price I saw was 10, that was up.
This is, you're just getting a regular cab, 8-foot bed, with 3,500, 2,500,
3,500.
just
Yep.
truck.
The only thing that's a little add-on is we're putting an inverter behind the seat,
Yep.
wired to the back, so
Yep.
we got a plug on there,
Gas,
gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, forward drive with the plow. Yeah, nothing fancy, power windows, power door locks, that's it.
Okay. Yes, I think.
So
that's-
pretty basic.
Yeah.
So, alright, so I'll do an
Yep.
add alternate, for, aluminum body, okay?
Yep.
Oh, what else I got? SCADA, the guy was here, Ben from Electrical Installations, we did that article to upgrade the SCADA system.
Yep.
So, all the whole, link system's all working, everybody can talk to everybody. He's talking through the new tower out back. Computer's all set up, ready to go. He's coming back tomorrow to finalize, you have to get some register software and stuff, so, everything's going good on that side. So, the SCADA's, it's here, so we can actually see it and, so
Fire
we could-
department is still on our tower and everything, and
the antennas are ahead. None of the town departments came and hooked up to it, but the antennas are here. But from what I hear, they're looking for other antenna sites. So, so I don't know. If maybe when the time comes up, if they put something down that side of town, that's where we have a problem too. Down towards Shirley, Hickory Hills area. So if they do a tower down there, maybe we can jump on their tower or maybe help them do the tower.
Put it up on
because
Elmwood
we're pretty
Road
good at doing
somewhere.
towers, so yeah, we could do it for them. So
alright.
whatever. So
Okay.
okay. So that was it. So SCADA's doing good. The other thing was next thing was Howard Street. We got the meeting coming up on the 12th. So that'll be our next commissioners meeting. So we have commissioners meeting, then we have that meeting. I just want to say that, I mean, we've done, nothing has changed.
No one, has anyone reached out, no one from the town has reached out to us about this?
No.
You're talking about.
The only thing I know about it is you went to the meeting and we
Yeah.
found out about the next meeting. So.
I sincerely think that one of us is a water district representative should go to that meeting. And just-
I'm going.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go.
And just
If anyone else wants to tag along.
reinstate that, I don't know the exact date, in November, we had a meeting, public meeting, and this article was shot down. And I think it would be worthwhile just to put a little more insight in, especially if you do, it'd be great being like, it's not that we don't like Howard Street, we have an elevation difference that this is higher than a higher tank, and if there was water ever run out there, the pump and the cistern and, you know, like that whole.
The difficulties of it, yeah.
The difficulties and the future maintenance of it is an astronomical problem. But somebody needs to go, because everybody was at that last meeting, that someone needs to go from the water department, I'm
But
not,
see, this is where it gets kind of,
just,
because they asked us for a response to that, and we responded to them, the town.
this is,
We
Right.
had a meeting, he's not in the water district, so as this pertains to the water district, it doesn't pertain to the water district. 'cause he's
it
not in the
really
district.
doesn't. I just feel that I don't want to go there with like an agenda on the mind, but just a simple restating of this letter being like, this is the facts.
Yes.
And that's, and I'm out. Like,
Yep, we tried, we had a special meeting to put him in the water district, it was voted down by the residents, and that's it, we're done. We cannot supply him with water, that's
Yeah.
it.
just, I'm surprised that nobody from the zoning board reached out, because I find out.
But they should have probably stood up and say, hey, well, we have a letter from the water district that says this.
They don't care.
They didn't. I don't know. Because I know it's gonna get brought up again at the next meeting, so.
I'm going.
If anything
Okay.
happens,
That's at 12th?
The 12th at
at
6.
6?
7 or 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
if anything ever does happen up there, we can put all the restrictions on that water line that we want to, can't we?
Not if he pays.
Well, I mean, I mean, we can make him put up a tank if the pressure's too low.
Oh, he
Pump
definitely has to have a
station.
tank for
Well,
5.
yeah, I mean, he's gotta do it right for us and for the people up there, if it ever happens. He just can't go
Right, but
through a water main in the
It's
ground
gotta
up
get through,
there.
it's gotta get through a district road first.
Yeah, right.
And then all, like what he said, all the other stuff. Let's say he does put a tank and a booster pump and all that stuff. Okay, so you took all the money that everybody up there paid and stuck it in the bank. When it comes time to do the maintenance, all that stuff, you just took that and then some from the regular customers
Right.
at the district. So
You're maintaining
you
the-
lost money. So yeah, you made money on paper.
He's gotta pay
And-
all the maintenance. That's what
Yeah,
I-
that's
Oh,
what
you know what? It doesn't happen. Believe me, it's like a life insurance company. He's going broke. He's bankrupt as soon as this project's done. He's taking his money, he's running, we're stuck.
So you take all the rents, and if it is
It
rental.
doesn't work that way.
But again, you're getting ahead of it,
Yeah.
all those things,
Yes.
you know,
Right.
All that
the
stuff-
simple answer is
Once
he's
again,
not in the
I think
district.
that it's just a simple, just a statement of fact from the
Yep.
water. The vote was voted, it was turned down, and just as a, because I know part of it was like there was a $4 million budget for sewer and water, which isn't even close. And if you could just maybe speak a little bit to like, just so you know, that it's not just running a main there, there's pumps in a cistern tank, or wherever, I don't know the terminology.
Yeah,
Sure. I mean, the water tank's probably $2 million by
Right.
itself.
Now, is that our cost or is that private cost?
That would be our cost, so private cost, he's probably 40% of that, get rid of the prevailing wage,
Yeah.
Right, so, but,
but still, it's a
Again.
ton of money.
yeah,
It's a tumble.
yeah.
And that's it, you know, if someone wants to get up there privately and talk about it, that's a different story, but I feel that
Yeah.
there was no representation from the water department on the last one, and it was brought up several times.
But I don't know if we wanna get into that.
I don't wanna get into it, I just wanna like read the facts, that's it.
Yeah.
You're not up there for Q and A, it's just, hey, this has already been voted.
Q&A
this
will
is,
happen, that's
Yeah.
fine, I don't
Oh,
mind.
it always does. People wanna know, and you can't blame them.
No. So,
So back to my pay for public speaking. Yeah, just kidding.
we'll send John.
Yeah, I'll tell them.
I know.
We can talk about that in budget season.
Okay, anything else?
That was it for me on the thing, you had something you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, the Emerald Place Arrive called yesterday about having their tenants' names on the bills. They're looking, I think the girls in the office are a little confused, so this may sound confusing because she's trying to explain things to me and I've talked to two different people and they both have different ideas of what's going on. But first girl talked to me about their buildings with like the 30 units in them or something.
Yeah.
Wanting to sub-meter each and every one of those and have the tenants' names put on it. So I was very confused what she was looking for, so Fran went out and Terry went and met the maintenance guys out there. So right now, those big buildings, we have 1 meter that comes in, we bill,
Correct.
Arrive, Emerald Place.
Yeah.
And they do what they want from there.
Right.
So they have these sub-meters in their ceilings,
Sure.
and they had another billing company that was reading them,
Yep.
sending the tenants those bills. Well, I guess they're looking to get rid of them, or they already did get rid of them. So in talking to the other woman today, she said, no, we're not looking for you guys to do that. And I said, well, the other woman mentioned that you guys want the bills to go to the tenants. I said, it's been our policy as far as I've known, their name, Arrive, stays and it goes to them.
Yep.
But we can do care of. Jane Smith at, 24 Carousel, and it can go to them, but it will always stay in the owner's name, but it can do care of.
I'm not a big fan there, rental units.
Yeah, I think, but
Okay.
I think that legally, the landlord has to pay the water bill.
Yeah, I'm not a
They're
big.
responsible, yeah.
Yeah.
How do we shut one apartment off?
Why,
No.
why can't they get them names and stuff from the previous people that left? They must have had them all, the names and addresses, if they sent
Yeah.
one to each apartment.
Well, that's, I did tell her, I said, whatever you guys decide, because the second woman I talked to today said, no, we understand, you're gonna send us the bills and we'll do that. I'm like, so then what did you need from us? I'm kinda confused.
Yeah.
So it was very weird, two different stories from these women
Well-
there.
well-
I just wanted to know.
Okay.
I said, so I told the woman today, I said, listen, if you decide that the townhouses that have their own meter, some of the other places have their
Understood.
own meter. I said, if it's decided that those places, we would keep your name and you would like to have care of whoever lives
Sure,
there,
'cause those
and we send the
townhouses
bill
are
to
owned by-
them. They're still owned by them, by
The whole
Arrive.
property is rental.
Yes.
All right, then, so I'll make this real simple for you. No.
Okay.
Okay?
Because what
Okay.
they- what they
Just-
wanna
And that's
do-
Just know, like,
okay.
we're gonna be sending Emerald Place or whatever it is now.
Arrive, yeah.
Arrive, you will get a water bill every month for the meter that your thread going in there. As to how you distribute it, that's all up to you.
Which is
We-
what they could do.
What
Okay.
they wanna do is they wanna charge each
Yes.
Go nuts.
person that's
Okay.
living there
I mean, but like,
money
not
for their
like,
water.
Okay.
And
Just
they
that's it.
wanna
Yep.
charge us, well, whatever they charge, they're gonna charge them way more, cause they're gonna put some money in their
So,
pocket.
but let's say we send them a bill, we send Arrive the bill, 15 Carousel Lane.
Yep.
Arrive gets that bill, 15, well, they're gonna pay the bill, so we stick it in their mailbox.
Right.
I mean, they can pass it on to whoever they
I don't
want.
care
Yeah.
what they do.
But in the end, they're ultimately
They can be their own little water department and buy our water from
They
them. I don't care.
can go
Yeah.
If it goes in that
around
meter.
But you want all accounts to stay in their name with no tenants' names?
No
nothing.
tenants named, like,
Okay.
it should be one bill to
Glad we
Emerald
brought
Place
it up.
or,
Yeah,
Yep.
like it's
Okay.
always been.
like it's always been, not
Alright.
even.
I will-
I feel the turnover for rental properties.
Yeah, that's the problem too, is how do they?
It would be a logistical nightmare, you'd be doing final reads there once a week.
Yep.
Okay.
And they'll be moving out without paying us.
and then that's when it would fall back on them, and then how, yeah,
Right.
I
You
agree.
gotta
Okay.
fight with them about it and blah, blah, blah.
No,
Okay.
thanks for the
This is
call.
good. You brought it to the board.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Nope.
And I'll let, and it didn't, it was just very confusing, so I figured
they
if this
can
is
come
the
up
answer
with
and
a-
it's squashed now,
They come
and,
up with a better, more concise plan on what they want to present to us, then great.
I'll ask them to
But
come
what
in and they
you're
can do it, but
telling
yeah.
us-
But
And historically-
I'll simplify that even further.
No.
No,
Okay,
so.
alright,
It's just a
That's all I
difficulty
had.
of it. Doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Okay, we got anything else?
Do we have public comment?
We're getting there.
Oh, I'm
Nothing
sure
for me.
we're gonna have some public comment.
Okay, you guys all set?
I'm all set.
Okay, we can go right to public comment. Mr. Rogers, do you have any public comment?
I don't.
Oh, he's doing that on purpose, that's all right.
I'll be very brief, because this is a lot to digest. The first thing, that we just, you guys just talked about, the way the water is designed for distribution at Emerald Place, or wherever the name is the way it should stay. Because you are going to open up Pandora's box, and, you know, I wouldn't, it is what it is, and that's the way it's gonna be. End of discussion. Because if you don't, you'll be exercising. Anybody in this room that thinks that the inflation, so-called, has hit the max is, in my opinion, wrong. Okay?
Definitely have.
So, one of the things that I would strongly suggest that you do with all kinds of specificity is compare apples with apples, okay? And you have to substantiate what you have, okay? Because you can't arbitrarily say, well, we're thinking about this and thinking about that. Because nobody really knows, but you can't do that, okay, in my opinion. This is a very, very complex thing, and it's a moving target, and nobody in their right mind has a handle on it, because they just don't, okay? But give them a couple of bullets. Everybody gets a electric bill, you know? Find out what, compare apples with apples, residential, and this is what they're going up, and this, so they can fathom that, okay? I think your position relative to the elderly is commendable, but it's a non-issue, okay? $2 a month, is that,
Yeah.
what are the $2, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Well, that's right now is what I was kinda getting at. That's how it is now, but it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I don't think you'll hear a thing from anybody about, $2 or $3
Yeah.
or whatever, okay? It's, the one thing that you've gotta do is whatever the rate is, it's got to take care of things for the foreseeable future. Now, what's that? 3 to 4 months. Because you'll be doing this again, I'm telling you, okay? And, just, the maintenance number, $500,000 is astronomical so far as I'm concerned. It's like, preaching to the choir, so far as I'm concerned. The amount of money that you're gonna spend for the testing and stuff is coming out of the account for the enhancement,
Yes,
right?
connection fees, yeah.
Is this going to be a hard number?
I think.
Are we talking about the pilot study?
Yes.
Okay. We will have yes, that will be a hard number to an extent. This, like we talked
Yes.
about, it is a little bit,
We'll get the engineer to hone down to a specific number, so when we do the motion, it'll be a more specific, but 360 is the budget number, so it should be a little less than 360 for the actual motion that'll be made.
Okay. Anything you do with the engineers, I would have them carry the ball, and say, based upon the recommendation of the engineers, this is what we think we should do, and this is why we think we should do it. If Because you're not engineers, and they are, and they're the expertise, and have them carry the ball. I read an article in the Globe last week about, I think it was Mass Waterworks. And they're selling water. Do you know that? They're selling water. They have an excess capacity. And so they are selling it to folks that need it.
Oh, you mean MWRA?
MWRA, thank
Yeah.
you, yeah, yeah. So,
What's that, co-op?
Yeah,
yeah, so,
very expensive.
yeah, it's okay. There's method to my madness.
Okay.
Again, you compare apples with apples. And people can get a picture of what's going on, okay? The other thing I think you should be doing is talking to Fitchburg, because we have, and I think we still have, intermunicipal agreement with Fitchburg so that we can buy water from them, I think.
We never had an intermunicipal agreement. We went and discussed it with them several times. We do that, what'd you say was Governor King?
King.
Whatever, that was, so he did the legislative act that gave us the authority to make a deal with Fitchburg. So
Okay.
it's the background's already there.
Okay.
And I've seen that letter. But anyway, so
You see a big signature.
I don't remember that part. But anyway, so we have discussed with Fitchburg, and when we were doing the Lancaster thing, that was one of the big concerns, a backup supply, you know,
Yeah.
without going to Hickory
Yeah.
Hills well. So we looked at Fitchburg. We never could really find a place to put the pump station. We need a pump station.
Right out in front of the bowling alley.
Yeah, that was kind of difficult because how?
Didn't it
How
own
you
the
take it
rate?
by eminent domain.
I didn't think the rate was,
Now, they were high on their water rates.
yeah, I didn't think that the rate was making it even
That was
cost
very-
effective.
So when we did the study, when we put in the Keating well, that was the two things. We had three options. Keating well, buy water from Fitchburg, or fix the Hickory Hills well. So we looked at all the money, how much was it gonna cost? And the cheapest one was the Keating well. So if we bought water from Fitchburg, which could have filled that needed demand to cover what, you know, the summer peak stuff, we took how much money that was gonna cost, and it was like, okay, well, that's more than what it was gonna cost for the loan payment a year, just for the Keating well. And in 20 years, the Keating well's paid off, so the loan payment's gone. So, and we were gonna get 1.4 million gallons out of that versus, you know, 100,000 out of Fitchburg.
Right.
So it was just the business side of things, like the Fitchburg is not the option. The Keating well is the option. So we did the Keating well.
Yeah.
That's how that all worked out. I remember running through all the selectmen, everybody, and they, because it was a huge rate increase, no one liked it. But once we ran through all the numbers, they understood where we were going. So we did do a lot of talking with Fitchburg. One of the big things with Fitchburg water is they use fluoride. A lot of people do not like fluoride. So I know when we were talking with Fitchburg with the Lancaster thing, I was actually talking with Leominster. So we were gonna go at Fitchburg with a more bulk purchase. So we were gonna go in together. And once the fluoride thing came up, Leominster was out. No, Leominster doesn't want fluoride at all. I don't think I'd be a fan of the fluoride either, mixing with our water. So I mean, there was incompatible things that was taking place. But and then Fitchburg, everybody thinks they have loads of water. And when I was talking to John DeLine, the head guy there, he said that that's not the case. We don't have unlimited supplies. So
A lot of their reservoirs went real low this year.
Yeah,
yeah, well, some of them I was kind of surprised they stayed up pretty good too. So
couple up on Ridge Road are really low.
Yes.
I think your point's very valid and it makes a lot of sense. And you might need that to sell the idea of the next step down at Hickory Hills and what has to go on. But my point is that there's a lot of stuff that has to be done. And to tell them what has transpired and why you're doing this and why you're doing that. And at the end of the day, you know, you gotta have water, so you gotta have some kind of a backup position. And I'm not smart enough to know what that should be. But it's very important.
I think we gotta start looking for a new source too. Of course, we are all the time, aren't we?
we haven't put in new test walls in quite a few
What was
years.
that one up by the golf course that we had talked about before?
Well, we talked to one, the next ones, I think bedrock wells were out behind Walmart, the
Yeah.
land that Powell owns now, where they're gonna put in those greenhouse things. Out behind there, we had potential well sites for bedrock.
White Street.
We still, that's the ones off behind White Street, yep. And then we still have that potential well site on Goodrich Street. I did speak to the landowner there and just to get some ideas on that.
Now, where's that?
Gavetzi's property, John.
What's that side street?
Gilchrist.
No,
Something Easterbrook.
Easterbrook. Yeah,
Oh,
right near Easterbrook. There's a brook that passes Easterbrook, passes through there.
He owns that property, or?
Yes.
Didn't he put some houses in there?
Yes, and when he put it in, we had the 400-foot radius around that well site, so he actually put an easement and protected that well site. So, you know, so people understand, why don't we go after that well instead of the Hickory Hills well? You probably have a mile of water main at least.
Yeah.
Because it's dead smack in the middle of Goodrich, so you're coming from Lancaster, correct way to do it is you're going to Reservoir Road, so you gotta make a loop. You gotta do the pump station, which is probably $2 million, then you got all your treatment, PFAS treatment.
Yeah.
Do you need to get it approved?
And which is probably 5 years down the road, at least, who
Yeah.
knows?
Yes, we need to look for another site, and hopefully if this, for some reason, if this Hickory Hills thing does not work, then we should. But
We'll be
I'm
scrambling,
being
yeah.
very optimistic, and let's hope that this Hickory Hills thing will work out, because that is a.
This is all information that, you know, you got in your arsenal of saying, "Well, good point, this is what we did, this is why we didn't do it, blah, 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 blah," and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
How would you feel if you didn't work for the Lunenburg Water District and you read all the stuff about the problems, financial and this and this, and to see the superintendent or whomever driving a new Ford with a aluminum body?
I feel okay.
Sorry?
I feel okay with it, because as a business owner, I realize that just because you see a new truck, especially if you look at, you know, I don't think we've used anything here, but there is a maintenance aspect, there's a lifespan to a certain piece of equipment. And at some point.
So you wouldn't have a problem with it?
I would not, because there's a revolving cycle in this, and it's a very calculated reason why.
Okay.
So I wouldn't.
I appreciate your perspective, but I'm not sure that everybody goes along with it.
When I see a new police cruiser, a new fire truck, a new plow truck on a DPW,
New trucks for the school.
I mean,
I understand.
you know,
I
they're
completely,
they're needed purchases, you have to have the equipment to do the job.
I agree with Woody. If you got 4 vehicles and you let them all go into trash, then you gotta go out and buy 4. If you circulate them or alternate them, then you gotta buy 1 like every 4 years.
And
that's the only way
I'll
to do
tack
it.
on to this, and I invite anybody that has this concern, and I see why you bring it up, to come around here and take a look at the fleet of vehicles that are run here. You got a 1994 Mack, I don't know how old.
88.
88, you got an 88 Mack, the Volvo Way car, I mean.
That's a
you know,
95.
95, you got a JCB backhoe from.
96.
1896, you know, I mean. So,
And the new backhoe's
Right,
in 2009.
right, so I mean, if anybody has an issue with that, you know, it'd be by all means, come
But
take a look. That
On that note, though, the pickup trucks, we got, the oldest one that we're gonna replace for this one is a 2010.
So that's a 12-year
then-
cycle out of a truck, and that's pretty good.
Then the next truck is a 2012 Chevy,
Yep.
and the newest truck is a 2017, my Explorer is a 2015, and then we have a 2017 utility one.
And right, and then a lot of them are just F-150 plain truck.
Yeah.
So and I
Right, you don't have a backup, one good service truck.
I understand your
So we're going for
question,
2, yeah.
and that would definitely be my approach to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all.
And that's not part of the actual rates, so we take that money from connection fees or the cellular account. I think in that case, we took it from the cellular account, so.
It's a perspective, though. And that's-
Right, I agree,
No,
it is a
it's-
perspective, we're raising the rates, but we're buying a new pickup truck, I understand what.
It's all matters.
Yep.
Right. The last thing is, I couldn't agree more with whomever said, I guess it was you, Woody, about the meeting with O'Brien, the developer up there. Somebody has got to be there. You don't have to talk long. It's real simple. I don't know why we're talking about this
Ready.
thing. We
Bye.
are operating under this, everybody understands, right? It hasn't been voted, blah, 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 blah. Where is that status right now? Is there a special meeting called?
No,
No,
we had it,
nothing.
it was voted down,
It was-
so
there's-
it's done.
But he asked for another one.
No,
No,
He didn't?
No.
Okay. It's real simple.
So it's dead in the water until he
Talking part's done. Next.
Yeah.
yeah. So.
Don't
this-
waste a lot of time with that one.
Right.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay,
All right,
Yeah.
do we have anything else to come before the board this evening?
good.
All right, I think I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.